Hiya folks, it's Kikoskia here, just letting you know that this video contains scenes that may not be suitable for people who suffer from epilepsy. Please keep this in mind if you intend to watch the video. And now, let us consult with the gods themselves! I'm sure they have only nice things to say to us. Right? Right? Hey folks, it's Kikoskia here, and welcome back to Let's Play Pillars of Eternity, and when last we left off we'd begun to speak with the gods themselves, starting with the trio of Galawain, Magron and Abaddon. Together, they have given us their blessing, an assurance that if we threw ourselves down the burial pit, we would survive the descent. They've also offered us a boon if we pledge to take the souls that Thaos has stolen and distribute their essence amongst the people of Bedirwood, thus strengthening those that remain. I haven't agreed to do this yet. I'm going to talk to the other gods first and see what they have to say. But the conversation we had with them was very interesting. One, it shows how they all agree with one another, while completely ignoring Durance. It was like Durance wasn't even there to Margaret. And secondly, that there is a pact amongst all the gods that they will not interfere in the affairs of mortals. Woedica is skirting this only just enough that they don't get into trouble by directing Thaos and having Thaos do what they want of their own will. It's time for us now to go and look at another altar.
Absolutely.
Let's get Lirin to do this. In the glittering stars of a nearby constellation, you see a grim shape of a skull. Its jaws are open wide, as if frozen in a silent scream. Let us pray to Berath. You kneel before the shrine and prepare to recite the ritual words. There is life in death, and death in life. There is a rippling shift in the air around you, as if some unfelt wind has changed, bringing unexpected warmth. You feel the peculiar weight of an unseen presence, and of eyes upon you. You kneel and pray to Berath. Even while your eyes are closed, you see a road that seems to stretch on forever. The stars wheel overhead in a clockwork rotation of constellations, disappearing over the horizon to your left, only to rise on your right. You try to make out the details on either side of the road, but your eyes can't seem to focus. One moment you think you see a meadow blanketed with mist, and another sheer canyon walls. Just for an instant, you could even see waves lapping at the edges of the road. Were you to step into the shifting landscape, you feel certain you would only end up back on the road. You know this is a vision. The packed dirt feels firm beneath your feet, and the night air cool on your face. You are walking. Your feet seem to carry you forward of their own accord. Something looms ahead of you. As you get closer, you see two stone figures that look strangely familiar. Our old friends, life in death and death in life. We're in the realm of the twinned god, and here are its two aspects. You remember the door to Cleoban Relag and the two figures carved into the mountain next to it. One looks vaguely male and the other vaguely female. Only a thin layer of flesh covers their skeletal bodies, which twist to face the doorway between them. The doorway, however, is not what you saw in the ruins. It's a skull, gaping and jawless, and as you look on, its open mouth seems to grow. The arms of the two stone sculptures are swept toward the mouth, inviting you in. When a god invites you into their domain, it's best not to say no. We will enter the skull's mouth. The road continues through the moor to another shifting landscape surrounded by stars. As you pass through it, you see an identical doorway in the distance. A dwarven man stands near it, unmoving. You turn to look behind you, only to see the skull gate you just passed facing you. An elven woman waits in the road. Like the dwarf, she stands still. You will approach the elven woman. You start toward her. There's something unnatural about the way she stands. She's too still. When you get closer, you see that her legs taper into a slender trunk, and in place of her feet are gnarled, twisting roots. She lifts her face to an invisible sun. Her long golden hair is the colour of autumn leaves, and as you look more closely, you realize that her head is actually covered with tendrils and vines sprouting brilliant yellow leaves. Each glimmers with the essence of an entire soul. She gives you a beatific smile. As you look on, the leaves slowly fall from her head and settle at her roots. They melt into the path beneath her, and almost immediately, new leaves sprout in the place of the old. She reaches toward you, still smiling as roots spring from her fingertips. Her outstretched arms bar the path. Come, graft your soul to the golden grove. No. Before you can flee, her roots twine around your shoulder. Yet as they do, they grow rigid and cold. Her outstretched arm petrifies, and a rough stone bark overtakes her flesh. She can only look on in horror. You break away from her brittle grasp. Her feet are rooted in place, but she twists and writhes as if trying to flee her own dying limb. The petrification reaches her shoulder and spreads down her body, freezing it in a painful arc. It creeps up her neck, and she throws her face skyward like a drowning swimmer. The greyness covers her face, freezing her gasp in stone. Now that she is still and lifeless, you can continue past her. Only the golden leaves on her head remain untouched, and as you watch, they fall one by one to the path below. They shrivel as the shimmering essence fades from them. You lift your gaze and see a dwarven man standing further down the road. Let us approach them. You continue down the road toward them. He looks up as you approach, but you can't tell if he's looking at you or through you. His face is smooth but flaccid, as if the flesh has detached from the muscles underneath. As you look on, his face begins to change. Wrinkles crack at the corners of his eyes. His mouth sinks, carving deep lines from his nose to the corners of his lips. His jowls sag, and the loose flesh hangs like dough. He raises his cupped hands. They're covered in blood. He lifts them to his face and smears himself, from his newly creased forehead to the wattles of his neck, as he massages the dark, sticky fluid into his skin. The flesh wrinkles disappear, the hanging fall to recede, and his skin tightens as if re-adhering to his skull. He lifts his head, and this time, you know he's looking at you. His renewed face looks like a mask, artificially smooth and still. Behind it, his black eyes are two hungry pits, yawning like the empty mouth of skulls. Come, make your sacrifice to the achknowledge. His body blocks the path. He extends a bloody hand towards you. Aha, no! The dwarf seizes you as you flee. You tear your arm from him, and his grip gives way with a noise like dried canvas ripping. His skin splits, following a long seam that begins at his arm and stretches the length of his body. Blood gushes forth in such quantities that you can't imagine there was ever anything else in him. Sure enough, as the dwarf empties of blood, he collapses like a desiccated husk. The blood in the path gleams with 1,000 souls' worth of essence. The essence evaporates, trailing shining filaments into the night sky. Only now when he is dead can you continue onward. The blood pools around your feet, and a voice echoes along the road, barely more than a whisper on the breeze. Return them to the wheel. You look up and see the skull gate ahead of you. The candles of Tir Evron wink through the open mouth. We leave. End the lives of the two figures from Berath's vision. Well, I know where one of them is. I know one of them is with the achknowledge. And I think I know where the other one is too. I think it's that person that the Grove people referred to.
I'm here.
They're in Elmshaw. Finally. We'll go here. This shrine sits before a bright constellation, its stars forming the oval shape of an egg. A pair of wings sprout from the egg, stretching out to either side. Let us pray to Hylea. You step before the shrine and prepare to recite the ritual words. Live every note of life's song. The words seem to ring in the air, your voice rendered melodic and lilting by some unseen art. You shut your eyes and pray. As you wait in darkness, the world around you changes. You feel sunlight, bright and warm on your face. A light breeze carries music to your ears. As vivid as these sensations feel, you somehow know they are not real. You look around and find yourself standing in an open-air temple built on a mountain summit. It's filled with elves, orlans, and assorted other kith. Ringing the entire scene is a fringe of trees, their verdant branches filled with birds of all different colours, shapes and sizes. Durance spits. Ugh, a paradise for those who would waste their lives exploring the meaningless while corrupting the meaning of the real world. Oh, to set these trees ablaze, Watcher. Everyone is singularly absorbed in a particular pursuit. An Orlan sits with a canvas, a paintbrush in his hand, and jars of green, blue, and yellow pigments at his feet. An elf and an Omawa standing to the side are locked in conversation, their expressions dancing with delight. Still others scribble stanzas of poetry, or crude sketches on sheafs of paper, losing themselves in the delicate minutiae of lines and syllables. You feel the breeze again, and 2 elves basking in the sunlight shiver. Look at this place! All these people coming together to share their creations and... Kana frowns. What on earth is that painting supposed to be? The largest group gathers in the middle of the temple. They sing a lush, chaotic harmony composed of several complementary melodies. Others drift towards the singers in ones and twos, as if buffeted by a gust of wind or a phrase of the song. A ripple passes through the trees. You think it's the wind, but the chirping changes to screeching. Hundreds of birds take to the skies, all headed in one direction. Away. The devotees glance at the trees, just barely distracted from their activities, but the wind picks up, scattering their pages of poetry and art and ripping the songs from their lips. They look skyward, and you follow their gaze. A dark shape blots out the sun. You can't tell what it is, but as it unfolds and expands, it seems to fill the sky. The wind roars over the summit. Well, that explains the birds. Before you can flee, a shadow falls over the temple. It begins as a stain in the corner and spreads, blotting out the flagstones. It reaches the nearest kith, a black-furred Orlan, but darkness swallows her, leaving only a puff of smoke in her place. The 2 elves that you saw earlier, a man and a woman, flee. You get a brief image of them huddled in the shadow of a mountain. They seem to see you too, and they reach out, calling silently after you. The others, however, seem frozen. As the shadow advances, they likewise vanish one by one. The driving gale scatters their ashes and the charred remains of their creations. The grieving mother holds her head. Songs of joy turn to screams of agony. What purpose, what lesson could possibly lie behind such destruction? You look up again at the source of the shadow. The eclipsed sun forms a blinding corona around the thing. You can't make out any details. You can, however, feel heat. Restore my temple. You look down and find yourself standing next to Hylea's shrine in Tir Evram. Your pulse still races and your skin is damp with sweat from your strange encounter. The nest above the clouds. We have that quest already.
I'm here.
So we have 3 things that we can do if we wish. We don't have to do them. We don't have to do them at all. But if we wish to talk to these gods, we can go to Noonfrost and help the people there. We can end the 2 lives that Berath dictates need to end. And we can go and restore the temple. The one that Berath wants is probably going to be the easiest. That said, maybe the one in Noonfrost will be easy too. I'm sure they'll be far more welcoming of us when they see the item that we have from their god. As for the Hylea one, that's going to involve a dragon. And we've fought a couple of dragons, but you should never take fighting a dragon lightly. That said, maybe we don't need to fight the dragon. Maybe we can find a way to avoid that. We have a blessing already, and we'll survive going down the Burial Isle pit, which I'm 99% sure is a point of no return. But I'd like to hear what the other gods have to say first. Hello?
Stop right there.
Hello?
Yes?
Oh.
You're in
Phantom
the
Soldier.
wrong city, Inquisitor.
The Phantom Soldier raises his short sword toward your chest.
Did you think you wouldn't be recognized here in your old home? I've seen your trials with my own eyes.
I have seen you light pyres with good people tied to them, people I'd known many a year. He seizes you by the throat, and your airways tighten, whether real or imagined you cannot tell. They deserve your confession. He raises the point of his sword, holding it a hair's breadth from your eye.
Thaos, what are you doing?
Startled, the soldier releases you immediately and turns to face the speaker, a woman in a plain wool tunic, fully a head shorter than he, but somehow seeming to tower over him. You have seen this woman's face before, but from afar, bloodied and burned as she lay stretched across an iron wheel. At the moment, it is marked only with concern.
An assassin sent by the Inquisition, my lady, daring to approach our camp.
If she is so poor an assassin as to approach an armed guard in daylight, I should have little to fear. I would hear what this woman has to say. She stares him down until he can no longer face her. He turns away, sour-faced, and pretends to be suddenly distracted by something far off.
My own sister. Returned home. I never dreamed this day would come.
I'm not going to lie to you. Grand Inquisitor Thaos Ix Arcanon dispatched me here to spy on you. Iovara doesn't blink. Are things as desperate as that over there? I'd never have known. I hope your next assignment is more stimulating. Listening to my lectures is dull work for a spy. There are few things stronger than the bonds of family. I should never have doubted we'd be reunited one day. Whatever your reasons, I've missed you all these years. Having you here now, at a time when I'm surrounded by strangers, is a wonderful gift.
I would like for you to stay here, in our camp, as my guest.
This is not going to end well for you.
My lady Iovara, I beg of you. This is an Inquisitor. This is a desperate attempt on your life. The only way it can succeed is if you allow it to.
No longer able to remain quiet, the soldier approaches Iovara and puts his hand on her shoulder, turning her aside. His voice is hushed, but by no means private.
This is a missionary, same as I was, taught the wrong things as I was. If I can't have faith in one woman's ability to reason once she knows the truth, what hope do we have?
She brushes his hand away with the calm grace of the resolute.
My lady, she admits being a spy.
Yup.
That should make her less of a threat, wouldn't you agree? I have nothing to hide. All I see here is an opportunity to persuade someone who could help us.
There's a logic to that.
We have many former missionaries here. They are our most loyal, our most helpful. Many have died for us. These are not people we should be turning away. And if the Inquisition wants my life, they can have it. But they know as well as I do that my cause will not die with me. Come. We have much to talk about.
Iovara beckons you somewhere behind her. Well,
I'm here.
that's something I wasn't expecting. And it was tailored to our statement to Thaos about the relation between her and us. Which is a nice touch. I get the feeling we're going to be speaking to Iovara again in some fashion in the future. But we have stuff to do now. I've noticed something though. Durance wants to talk to me. Let us speak with Durance.
What is it, Watcher?
Does what we learned about Wodica trouble you?
It stinks of her. It is justice, but if her greater purpose was to think Margaret would fall prey to such deceit. And Aethys. Waidwen had always claimed to be invading Deerwood to free it. What if it were true? What if he had come to stop Wodica's plot before it began?
Durance is starting to doubt. His face contorts in fury.
Surely Aethys earned his death at Godhammer Citadel, but not for those reasons. Not to keep him silent. If such a thing has brought about this chaos...
Durance tilts his head, as if listening to an inner voice. Then he frowns, the frown deepening as he speaks.
Must we always be tools of gods? If Woodica and Margrin, if they are the cause of this, the Hollowborn, if the Purges were never necessary, if Aethys was fighting back...
It's a lot to take in.
No, it is not. I am glad to have walked this far with you, seen this truth.
Durance is cold.
Perhaps it was what I was meant to see, with a watcher's eyes.
He glances at you beneath his brows, warily.
All these dances of words and intrigues, machines of men, twisted, ripping the souls of children, and by the gods, the goddess of justice. If I could end her like Aethys, Margrin burned her once. One can do so again. Woodica, she must answer to her own justice.
Justice or revenge?
Anyone with a shred of spirit seeks both justice and punishment. It burns in the heart of anyone who lives. All seek it. If the world does not balance, we all drown in the oceans. And the gods would not care. Margrin, she must be redeemed. And punishing Woodica, that will serve.
Do we know that Margrin was not a willing accomplice?
Is this some final joke at my expense? To test my faith further? And why would you think that, Watcher?
Durance looks at you for a moment. Then his lips peel back, sneering. He laughs, loud and harsh. The others who made the Godhammer, they all died, didn't they? That's why I saw their symbols fade from your staff.
If all you have are questions, then I have enough of those. She is a bitch of a goddess, to be sure. But even a whore only goes so far in crossing those she serves.
You said you left Asphor without telling anyone of your departure.
You answer a question with a question. Then why did I feel her disappointment at Halgot? Why were we shamed?
Because I think she tried to kill you there.
Kill me? She is a goddess. I still drink from her burning breasts, Watcher. If she wished me dead, she could trace me to my source and kill me.
Durance looks at you for a moment as if you're mad, then his lips peel back. He laughs again, loud and harsh. His face burns, though. He clenches, his hand tight on the staff. In the dream of the Godhammer, your spirit looked blurred, indistinct in the light, as if it had been sheared from you. Durance stares at you, his expression frozen, but he's silent, listening. If you had been damaged, as I saw in the Godhammer vision, then she may be unable to see you as you once were. Durance turns from you for a moment. His face twists in thought, conflicting emotions running across his features. Finally, he turns to you, his face steady.
There's no proof, Watcher. I was a fool to think you could help me see any farther than I could.
If you don't trust me, then trust your staff. Admit that the other Godhammer builders are dead. Durance turns to the staff, and for a moment, you see his eyes burning, taking in the edges of the wood, the symbols inlaid there, the 11 faded circles.
They died in the blast, yes. The other 11. I was the only one to walk away. I thought we had wronged our goddess. That this was my trial, and if I could prove myself worthy of her! I should have known better. There is only one God of redemption, and I saw him ended.
As he studies the staff, you feel a wave of heat, a terrible energy rolling forth from it in waves, so much so it feels as if the Godhammer itself is alive in his hands. And past it you hear a cry, like a child being born, and your eyes feel the flash of white, then 100 imagined shades of purple and white, streaming and circling into the howling of a storm, and beneath it, the grinding of ancient machines of stone, rock, and metal, grinding and turning until all around you feels as if it's burning, sinking into the shadows of the earth. Beneath the ground, the only place where a spirit might find refuge. When your vision clears, you see Durance, his hands clutching the staff, and his eyes are bright, burning red. Atop the staff, the flame burns cleanly, brightly. As his gaze burns, he rips his gaze away and howls, a bellowing, horrid howl, like a wounded animal, and sweat pours from his brow. Durance, we can make this right.
To think I served her, I followed her. Now I shall serve no one. Woodica's lies must be answered. And now it seems I must take fire in war from a goddess's false claim as well. I still take from her strength as I did, for as long as it lasts. For I shall not cast her aside yet, until I have drained her dry and had my fill, just as she intended for me.
Durance's face cracks into a snarl, then his face becomes stone, his eyes still burning, almost hungrily.
For I have learned one of the lessons of the faithful. The faithful may wound a goddess greater than any enemy. A purification is coming, and this fire shall consume them both.
Let's continue on, Durance. Durance has finally been made to see what we've been trying to tell him all along, and I do not know if that is a good thing. I don't know if that's a good thing at all. I think we might have turned Durance into something far worse than what he already was. But at least he is no longer lying to himself. The lies have unraveled, and he has been made to see the horrible truth of his predicament. He survived only because his soul was smeared during the Godhammer incident, and he escaped Margaren's notice. Margaren didn't even notice him during that conversation. And now he wants his vengeance. I have a feeling there is another god that might accept him willingly, and that scares me. But we mustn't think about that now. He still serves us, except now he steals Margaren's power rather than uses it as her faithful servant. When we come back, folks, starting the tasks the other gods set before us. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you're not. And if you are subscribed, press that bell for those notifications. And I'll catch you next time, folks. And I'll see you then. Later.